Imagine buying a brand new luxury vehicle. You put premium fuel in it. You wash it every week. You change the oil religiously. You take perfect care of it. But there's one problem. Every few months, instead of taking out the trash, you simply keep stuffing more and more garbage in the trunk. Eventually, things start to smell. Systems stop functioning properly, and performance suffers. And before long, you've got a much bigger problem than you realize. In many ways, that's exactly what many Americans are doing with their digestive systems. And it may be affecting everything from hunger and energy levels to inflammation, recovery, and even longevity. Today on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast
with Garrett Williamson.
Health, wellness, exercise, nutrition, and a whole lot more. Got questions? Call us and leave a message at 251-278-EDGE or message us at Personal Edge Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, at Team PE on Twitter, or personaledgefitness.com.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. I'm Garrett Williamson, president of Personal Edge Fitness. Last week, we discussed the muscle loss tax and why losing weight isn't always winning. Today, we're discussing something that receives far less attention than protein, carbohydrates, fats, supplements, or the latest diet trend. We're talking about fiber, a nutrient that most people know they should eat more of, but very few people truly understand. Here's the myth. When most people hear the word fiber, they think of one thing: regularity. I mean, let's be honest. Most people hear the word fiber and immediately think of television commercials involving grandparents smiling while holding a glass of orange powder. End of discussion. But fiber is much more than that. In fact, if all you think fiber does is help you go to the bathroom, that's a little like saying a smartphone is useful because it tells time. Technically true, but you're missing out on most of the story. All right, how do we get here? Let's think about how humans traditionally ate vegetables, fruits, beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains. These foods naturally contain fiber. Then along came modern food processing. Food became softer. It became more convenient. It became longer lasting. And in many cases, fiber basically disappeared. What we gained in convenience, we often lost in nutritional quality. Today, many Americans struggle to consume even half of the recommended daily fiber intake, and the consequences go far beyond digestion. One of my favorite ways to explain this is to imagine your digestive tract as a city. Inside that city live trillions of bacteria. Some are helpful, some are not so helpful. The helpful bacteria need food, and their favorite food is fiber. It's not steak. Y'all know how I feel. There's no such thing as bad food. I'm not against steak. But that helpful bacteria, their favorite food is fiber, which is not steak, not protein shakes. It's not donuts. It's fiber. When beneficial bacteria receive enough fiber, they thrive. When they don't, less desirable bacteria begin to gain territory. It's very similar to a neighborhood. When good families move out and nobody replaces them, eventually the neighborhood changes. Your gut works much the same way. And now, many people talk to me about satiety. Basically 86ing either cravings or hunger. One reason fiber is becoming a bigger topic in nutrition circles is its impact on hunger. Fiber slows digestion. It increases fullness. It helps people feel satisfied longer. One of the reasons many people struggle with overeating is because modern processed foods often provide lots of calories but very little satiety. Imagine trying to heat your house with a newspaper. It burns quickly, produces a lot of heat, then it's gone. That's how many processed foods behave. Fiber acts more like a hardwood log, steadier, longer lasting, far more efficient. This is the way we want to go. Let's connect this like I always do. Let's connect it to the live age, the underlying theme of the entire podcast series. Many people blame aging for increasing aches and pains. And certainly you feel like it has changes over time. But remember what actually changes: fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, mindset. But inflammation is often a much bigger contributor than people realize. Research continues to show associations between higher fiber intake and lower levels of chronic inflammation. Why? Because healthy gut bacteria produce compounds that help regulate inflammatory responses throughout the body. In other words, what happens in your gut doesn't stay in your gut. The entire body feels the effects. Before we continue, if you have any questions about today's topic, would like to suggest a future show, or would like information about Personal Edge Fitness, we'd love to hear from you. Call us at area code 251-278-3343. Find us on Facebook, Personal Edge Fitness, personaledgefitness.com, our website. Follow us on X at Team PE, or reach out to me personally, Garrett at personaledgefitness.com. And don't forget to watch for my upcoming book, The Live Age, where we explore why fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, and mindset actually determine ability and not the passage of time. Now let's get back to talking about fiber. Fiber in the gut-brain reaction. This is something you may have heard that line before. Your gut and your brain are constantly communicating. In fact, many researchers now refer to the gut as a second brain. The healthier digestive system can influence mood, cravings, appetite regulation, stress response, and even cognitive function. Believe it or not, that's a neat listing. But if I had time on the podcast, I could go in depth and show you each one of those and exactly how the gut affects it. Think about that, though. The food choices you make today may influence how you think and feel tomorrow. That's a pretty remarkable concept. And once again, fiber plays a starring role because it helps support the environment where beneficial bacteria thrive. I'll tell you a little observation here. One of the most common things we hear from clients isn't my cholesterol improved or my inflammation markers improved. Those things happen, but people don't usually notice them. What they notice is, I have more energy. I don't crash in the afternoon. I'm not constantly hungry, or I feel better. We had Jim do a testimonial for us on social media. Actually just came out a week or two ago. And starting with us at 86 years old and 6-7 months in, he actually said those things. It's exactly what he had noticed. Sometimes those improvements begin with something as simple as increasing fiber intake. It's not sexy. It's not flashy. No celebrity endorsements. Just basic nutrition done consistently. Now, many people assume digestive problems are simply part of getting older. Guess what I'm going to say about that? Often, what we're really seeing is decades of dietary habits catching up with us. That's exactly what we're seeing. Your body is adapting to what you've given it to adapt to. The body is continuously adapting. The gut continues adapting. The bacteria continues to adapt. The question is, what environment are we creating? Because once again, the body isn't responding to age. It's responding to the conditions we provide. Okay, here's a weekly challenge. This week, can't believe I'm saying this, believe it or not, but just for a week, don't count calories. Count fiber. For 7 days, make conscious efforts to increase your intake of vegetables, fruits, beans, legumes, which are, y'all probably know what legumes are, different types of nuts, whatever, seeds, and pay attention to notice your hunger, notice your energy, notice how you feel. Really, make a concentrated effort to change this for 7 days and see how you feel. The results may absolutely surprise you. Okay, today we discussed, I think it's the first time I've ever done a podcast on fiber, but today we discussed fiber. It's far more than a digestive aid. We just talked about how it influences hunger, inflammation, gut health, and even brain function. And while one of the most overlooked nutrients in modern nutrition may also be one of the most important. Sometimes the biggest improvements in health don't come from the newest trend. In fact, many times they don't. Sometimes they come from rediscovering something we've neglected for years. And understanding the absolute power of fiber is just one more way we help you reach your level of wellness.
Thanks for listening to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Subscribe now and be a part of the show by calling 251-278-EDGE or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Personal Edge Fitness or at Team PE on Twitter, and visit us at personaledgefitness.com.
Did you know only 22% of 8th graders are proficient in civics? It's a statistic that affects all our futures. But Alabama's Liberty Learning Foundation is changing the headlines. We partner with schools to go beyond the textbook teaching civics, character, and financial literacy in a way that empowers students to make a real impact in their own communities. Help Liberty Learning Foundation build the leaders Alabama needs. Join the movement today at libertylearning.org.